Hello, welcome to TTV News with some latest events in TayNinhTV province. Ladies and gentlemen, in the morning of July 19, Mr. Nguyễn Thành Tâm, Secretary of the Provincial Party Committee, Chairman of the Provincial People's Council, has a meeting with the Japanese delegation led by Mr. Suzuki Keisuke, Deputy Heads of Policy Research Councils and the Communication Departments of the Liberal Democratic Party of Japan, and a Japanese member of the parliament that paid a courtesy visit on the occasion of their visit to Vietnam.
Also welcoming the delegation, there were Ms. Nguyễn Đại Thị, Standing Vice Chairwoman of the Provincial People's Council, Mr. Võ Đức Trong, Standing Vice Chairman of the Provincial People's Committee, and leaders of provincial departments, agencies, and branches. On the side of Bình Dương Province, there was Ms. Nguyễn Trường Nhật Phượng, Vice Chairwoman of the Provincial People's Council and leader of PKMS ITC Corporation. Discussing at the meeting, Mr. Nguyễn Thành Tâm expressed his pleasure to welcome Mr. Suzuki Keisuke and the delegation. It is even more meaningful on the occasion of the 50th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between Vietnam and Japan. He was also pleased to say that the province has also attracted a number of Japanese investors to invest in industrial parks and export processing zones, and he hopes that Japanese investors will pay more attention to TayNinhTV in the coming time. TayNinhTV always creates favorable conditions to welcome investors to learn and create opportunities for investment cooperation in various fields. With the existing advantages, Mr. Suzuki Keisuke believes that TayNinhTV will promote its potential and advantages to create further development in the coming time. For his sake, Mr. Suzuki Keisuke affirmed that he could support the promotion of building relationships between Japanese businesses with TayNinhTV and Bình Dương, creating a closer connection for Japanese investors to learn about and take advantage of investment opportunities in two provinces.
In the morning of July 19, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính, heads of the government's steering committee for administrative reform, chairs the conference, which he have in the form of face-to-face, combined with the online to review the steering committee work in the first 6 months of the year. Chairman of the Provincial People's Committee, Mr. Nguyễn Thành Ngọc, attended the conference at the Rest Point of TayNinhTV province.
In the first 6 months, the administrative reform has been drastically and closely directed by the government and the Prime Minister, creating a breakthrough in administrative reform. The steering committee held 2 meetings to focus on solving related difficulties and problems. Speaking at the conclusion of the conference, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính raised the solidarity, determination and efforts of the government on levels, sectors, localities and members of the steering committee, contributing to helping administrative reform be continuously improved and make progress. However, in fact, there are still many difficulties and limitations, bottlenecks and obstacles in the internal operations of state agencies and in dealing with work. There is still a situation of avoiding and laying the blame on each other. With the view that resource comes from thinking, motivation comes from innovation, strength comes from the people, the Prime Minister requested that in the coming time, the organization of steering committee meetings must be implemented online connection to the commune level in order to further improve responsibilities, strengthen decentralization for commune level, the place closest to the people, reaching the people the fastest, the place to directly interact and work with people and businesses. Related to issue of labor and employment during the questioning session in the afternoon of July 19, the delegate suggested that the Department of Labor, Investment and Social Affairs should have a radical solution to reduce the situation of job loss in the province. Responding at the questioning session, the leader of the Department of Labor, Investment and Social Affairs said that in the immediate future, the department has actively coordinated with the management board of the economic zone, other departments, branches and localities to survey the situation of cutting, reducing, dismissing and suspending the performance of labor contracts of enterprises. The Employment Service Center is coordinating with the Economic Zone Management Board through the Zero Arrest Job Connection 2022 to understand the situation of labor recruitment needs of enterprises managed by the Management Board. Besides, the center has coordinated with the Provincial Data Integration Center, job seekers, jobs need people on TayNinhTV Smart Portal, strengthen propaganda and provide information to employers on employment settlement policies through the job sessions, fairs, and seminars, improve the efficiency of resource use national fund for employment, spending capital on projects that attract a lot of workers, new industry to accelerate labor restructuring, to expand production, business, and services to create more jobs for workers. At the discussion group number 1, the delegates commented on the current situation of investment attraction in the first 6 months of 2023, while the FDI sector increased by 11.3%, the state sector decreased by 5.1% over the same period in 2022. Facing this situation, the delegates suggested that the province should promptly adjust its domestic and foreign investment policies to be suitable and keep up with the fluctuations of the global economy. At the same time, create a competitive and open business investment environment. Remove difficulties and obstacles in policy to create the most favorable conditions for the operation of enterprises and investors. At the same time, the province also needs to accelerate the necessary processes to return to normal economic and social activities after COVID-19 pandemic, strengthen the confidence and peace of mind of domestic and foreign investors, prepare necessary conditions to attract investments. The question and answer session of the 8th session of the Provincial Business Council, the 10th term 2021-2026 tenure, has clarified many issues interested by the delegates and voters. The Provincial Business Council members also asked frankly. The agencies also answered the question in the right focus. Concluding the questioning session, Secretary of the Provincial Party Committee, Chairman of the Provincial Business Council Nguyễn Thành Tâm said that the working session took place in an atmosphere of urgency, seriousness, and responsibility. Most of the questions come from the practice of STEM administration and management and issues concerned by the society. Answering questions from leaders of the Provincial Business Committee, departments and branches has shown the sense of responsibility, basically clarifying the issues raised by the People's Council delegates. The content of the answer is quite clear. Go straight to the question, frankly accepts the responsibility of the sector, the field in charge, and the responsibility of the individual. Mr. Nguyễn Thành Tâm suggested that after question and answer session, leaders of the Provincial Business Committee, departments and branches need to have specific and practical solutions to implement the problems interested by voters and delegates. At the same time, it is suggested that the delegates of the Provincial Business Council, the agencies of the Provincial Business Council, and the voters in the whole province participate in supervising the organization and implementation of functional branches.
The audience during the afternoon session of July 19, the horn head off with a question and answer session. The Department of Information and Communications were the first units to be questions about the situations of information technologies application and digital transformations in the province. This group of problems is questioned because the indicator of digital transformations in TayNinhTV province are still quite low.
In recent years, voters and people are quite interested in the current situation and solutions to apply information technology and digital transformation in the province, especially helping people access information technology, increasing the percentage of people using online public services. In fact, at present, commune-level civil servants are overloaded with work. Most people still do not use online public services because some people do not have smartphones or have but do not know how to use them. Therefore, civil servants in the commune-level one-stop shop have to do the procedures for the people. People cannot use online public services. Not only the people, but even the officials are confused. Our province has set a target that by 2025, 70% will be trained in basic digital skills, but there are still no guidelines or agencies to implement. The Department of Information and Communication frankly acknowledged that In fact, people still face many difficulties in performing public services. Therefore, the goal of accelerating the implementation of online public services is even more difficult to achieve. However, the causes are mainly subjective, so they can be identified and overcome. The mistake of not having a phone is 3%. Wi-Fi is not available only 5%, but a service is up to 36%. The remaining 25% is administrative procedures too difficult. What needs to be promoted is to improve the quality of online public services in the province. The second is to simplify the online public services set. Regarding solutions, sectors at all levels have to study and simplify the administrative procedures. In addition to the barrier that the procedure is too complicated and difficult to handle, the mechanisms to promote digital transformation at the grassroots are also considered by the delegates to be still limited and not yet effective in promoting digital transformation. Actually, it's very good for the elderly to use the phone to make calls. We will study to advise how to use it at a simple level. We have advised the Provincial Business Committee is to mobilize the students. The Department of Education and Training must be guided to use online public services as future digital citizens. According to the explanation unit, focusing on digital transformation for students will promote significant efficiency as they will enthusiastically guide their family members. The Department of Information and Communications has also come up with many solutions, such as promulgating a policy to shorten the processing time of administrative procedures submitted online compared to regulations, advising and promulgating policies to reduce fees and charges for online public services. At the same time, continue to pilot not accept applications in person, only online in some days of the week.
The orient vocational training in general and the training and development of skilled human resources in particular plays an important role in improving the qualities of human resources, contributing to increasing labor productivity's remote economic growth.
Questioning the Department of Labor, Investment and Social Affairs at the 8th session, the 10th Provincial Business Council, taking place in the afternoon of July 19. The delegates raised a number of shortcomings in vocational training work in the province today, in which the network of vocational training institutions of the province are few. The structure of training industry and occupations has not yet met the recruitment needs of the enterprises. The physical facilities of training institutions are still difficult. Equipment for teaching practice is lacking and outdated. Along with that, the socialization policy has many shortcomings, has not yet attracted enthusiastic and potential businesses to invest in this field. Teachers are still lacking compared to actual requirements. The work of streamlining high school students into vocational training is still low compared to the set target. According to the report, the department has also raised a number of current limitations in vocational training, which is that the facilities in training institutions are still difficult, equipment is still lacking and outdated. The lineup of teachers is also lacking compared to actual needs. What specific solutions does the department have in the future to improve the quality of vocational training to meet the needs of employers? It needs to set the attraction of laborers in other localities to TayNinhTV to settle down, especially highly skilled workers. Secondly, evaluate the fact that we attract them back. The employees who are children of TayNinhTV are skilled workers, high-quality workers who are currently working in other localities to return to TayNinhTV to work. So we also evaluate more so that we can have a solution in the coming time. Regarding the quality of training, the content is currently being assigned to vocational training secondary school and vocational colleges to open transactions, including approaching businesses to capture labor supply and demand, especially in the training industry. Accordingly, it is to send workers and students to enterprises to learn and practice at enterprises so that after graduation, they have suitable skills to carry out Jewish enterprise in need of training. In addition, there is upgrading as well as investing in more equipment for intermediate schools and vocational colleges to invest in more equipment to meet the practical needs of businesses. At the same time, sending students to the practice facilities of enterprises, we will have practical solutions to meet the needs. From the fact that in order to improve the effectiveness of vocational training in the coming time, the training stage must be associated with market demand. To do so, it is necessary to do more rustic forecasting of supply demand and only conduct training when the demand is identified.
That's all for today, TTV News. Thank you for being with us and goodbye for now.